You don't want to bet on another driver's insurance to protect and cover you because it very well may not. There's a high price to be paid for being uninsured or not having the appropriate underinsured motorist coverage policy. I'm Virginia Tarani. I'm with Tarani Law LLC because you never need a lawyer until you do. And when you do, it's probably because you've been in a car accident. That's the most common time when someone comes into contact with attorneys. Take it from a personal injury attorney that the best protection for yourself in an accident is your own insurance. There are a lot of myths around that I want to make sure that you know that these are myths. The common misconception, the most common misconception, is that other guy's insurance, they'll take care of me, right? The at-fault driver, he's supposed to pay for me. Their insurance is supposed to cover me. Another myth is, well, at least my own health insurance will cover me. Another myth, the minimum coverage, that's okay with me. And finally, I have tomorrow to take care of it, because you may not. So why does your own insurance company matter? Why does your own insurance coverage matter? Who you choose and what you choose does matter because you're not always in good hands and they're not necessarily saving you money. They might be on your upfront premiums, but they're not if you're in an accident. So the common problems in reverse of the misconceptions, at-fault driver doesn't necessarily have any insurance, okay? First of all, you may not be able to find the at-fault driver. I actually have too many clients who come to me with a hit and run accident. Another driver has caused damage in a parking lot or otherwise and simply drives away. That's a driver you don't know, you can't identify, and that insurance certainly isn't gonna cover you because you don't even know what it is. Then there is the at-fault driver doesn't have enough insurance. So let's say you have the at-fault driver, but they have the minimum coverage. You have bills that are over $30,000, then you're out of luck. You get that $30,000, that's nice, have a nice day, and you're on your way. Even if your health insurance pays, let's get to that, they have liens on your recovery. So they pay less than normal bills, but even that, they turn to you to repay because you were in the accident and you may not have another day. Okay, truth is, many motorists don't have insurance and they certainly may not have enough insurance. What do? You got to do something, right? You need to protect yourself. That's why you're listening and watching to this video. You have UM and UIM insurance, even if you don't know that you do. UM insurance is basically uninsured motorist insurance. It's insurance that covers you for that at-fault driver that ran away, that you can't find, or that definitely doesn't have insurance because, oh wait, they're driving a stolen car, they're driving without insurance, something like that. Underinsured motorist policies, UIM policies, therefore when the other driver doesn't have enough insurance. So you have both of these policies, but the question is, do you only have the minimums? In Maryland and Virginia, the minimum is $30,000. But like we've just discussed, that may not be enough. So that's when your coverage kicks in. Let's take a look at this. We've got the at-fault driver with no coverage or the at-fault driver with less coverage. At-fault driver has no insurance, okay? Here's where we are. You have a minimum of $30,000 insurance. What happens when you're in a collision? You have up to the $30,000. You don't get his insurance because he doesn't have any insurance, you can't find it, but you at least have the minimum of uninsured motorist coverage. You get $30,000. Or up to it. You have better uninsured motorist coverage. Let's say you have $100,000. Other driver still has none. You have none from him. You have $100,000 in uninsured motorist coverage. Now you have a collision and you have up to $100,000 for your medical bills and expenses. That's a lot better and much more protection for you and your family if you're in an accident. Let's look at the same for underinsured motorists. And there is actually a difference. So, at-fault driver has minimum insurance, okay? You actually have an at-fault driver, but they don't have enough. They have the minimum, 30. You have a policy where you have the minimum of $30,000. They have 30, you have 30, it cancels out. So you're in a collision, how much can you get? No more than $30,000 to cover your expenses, including your medical bills and your lost wages. It's something, but it may not be enough. Now let's go to underinsured motorist coverage where they have the minimum and you have $100,000. You're in a collision, you get their $30,000, and then you get up to a total of $100,000. So it's basically gap coverage. You get an additional $70,000. Sorry for my hair here, everybody. You get an additional $70,000 to use for your treatment and your medical care. So there's $30,000 for the at-fault driver, and then there's an additional $70,000 for a total of $100,000. So you have more than that, you get up to the higher price. But this is why it's better to be covered. Don't bet on the other driver's coverage. Don't assume that you will get money from the at-fault driver because it will always let you down.